Alright, everyone. To translate is to transfer or turn from one set of symbol into another, or we across the language or the same message to the another message, or from the source language to the target language. But what is translation history? Even though history of the translation is a topic that historians and scholars have long debate. It's universally agreed that translation dates way back before the Bible. Since the earliest day of human interaction, translation has continued to develop. Now, more than ever, allowing cross-cultural interaction, trade, globalization of the economy, and sharing knowledge. Over time, with the help of the translation, the world has become more of a melting pot. This is this this in turn also makes translation a more necessary service, spanning different theories, mediums, and civilization. Will take you through a fascinating account of the history of translation from an antiquity to the present day. All right, the early history of translation. Different theories surround translation throughout history, which give insight into how, when, and where translation has been used. First, the word translation was derived from the Latin phrase that means to bring or carry across. Second, another explanation phrase is metaphrasis, which was derived from ancient Greek, meaning to speak across. Finally, from the word metaphrasis, the word metaphrase was derived to mean word from word translation. Then, the story of the first known translation. It is said that translation was done in the Mesopotamia era, where Gilgamesh Sumerian poems was translated into the Asian language. Other ancient translation works include Buddhist monks' translation Indian texts into Chinese. Translation of the religious texts. It is said that the first known significant translation was of the Hebrew Bible, date back to the 3rd century. The needs for the more translation continue to increase with the expansions of spiritual theories and religious texts. The results of the religion brought the drive to spread religion and strength faith, which means there was the need to translate religious content into multiple languages. Along the first known religious translations is the translation of the Old Testament Bible into Greek in the 3rd century before century. The translation is called the Septuagint. Correct me if I'm wrong. The translation of the Bible from the Hebrew to the Greek. The translation of the Bible into Greek became the basis of future Bible translation that followed in multiple languages. Because religion played a huge part in the development of the translation, the early church named Jerome as the translation patron saint. In the 4th century AD, Saint Jerome translated the Bible to Latin, and the Latin Bible became predominantly used in the Roman Catholic Church. Protestants was introduced, which also create the necessity to continue translating the Bible and other religious content into other languages. One significant significant difference between Catholicism and Protestantism was the contrast between the crucial passage and the disparity during the translation. Next, do you guys know the famous translator in a story? So let's check it out. While most translators were hidden character, several people paved the way for translation that allowed some of the greatest contributions to this to disseminating knowledge and ideas throughout the age. Some translators were unnamed or unknown because translation work was dangerous at the time. Some lost some lost lives because of translating. For instance, William Tyndale, who translated the Bible into the English language, he was executed in 1536 in Holland. It's a very scary, I think, that moment. Other famous translators include Constance Garnett, who translated several Russian classics such as Tolstoy and Gogol into English. In the 19th century, there's also Xuanzang, a Chinese monk who was credited for translating Indian Buddhist texts into the Chinese language. And now move on to the modern translation, printing press and its impact of translation and language usage. Right. Before the introduction of the printing press, when few people could read, most written texts were in the printing press, though had a profound impact on language use and people's literacy. The use of Latin declined as text could now be translated and even published in different local languages, with more people getting a chance to learn and read. The early professional translation In the early professional translation, there was little regard for the translation accuracy. This was the period of translation adaptation, as there was still no accuracy in the translation of individual words. For example, when a translator didn't understand a word's meaning when they're translating, they would skip it entirely. This gave the translator a lot of control over their audience since they end up saving the text that people read. Then move on. The translation studied in the academic discipline. Studying the translation in the academic discipline became a concept around the 1950s when institutions were introduced. The institution allowed a cross-culture interaction and knowledge sharing where people from different languages gather to learn how to translate. Now, machine translation or MT has been widely adopted to enhance and ease translation with translators worldwide being aided by computer. It involves the application on the language science and computer to development of the translation. It is the computerized system responsible for attaining translations either with or without human assistance. Then translation and the globalization of the economy. Due to the industrial revolution, the rapid development of the economy evolved into the new machinery that allowed sweeper and easier production of tech, creating the needs for companies to translate and enter into foreign markets. Tracing back to the 18th century, translation helped globalize the economy with many businesses benefiting. From live translation services, the development of machine translation and internet has completely revolutionized the ability to translate, access, and understand documents worldwide. Then the translation in the society today, and what happened with the translation in our society today. All right, guys. So today, translator now have separate tools such as the internet, of course, and the laptops as the medium at their disposal to aid in the translation process. Translation service have also become of massive importance in society as the world become increasingly interconnected through the economy, education, sharing knowledge, and trade. Seeing how far translation has come through the years, we can gain an appreciation for the strenuous translation works done by the earliest translator in history. In addition, we're glad for the more accurate and widely available translation that have today. We thanks all the translation that were had to keep the words moving forward. Alright guys, that's all about the story of the translation from the early stage into the modern and today. Alright, hope this material can help you know more about the story of the translation. Okay guys, if you like this content, you can like, comment, and subscribe, and thank you for watching.